Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to another exciting banter-filled episode of the Super Banter Bros, where the banter is high quality. The intro's not so much. They're still getting workshop. Either way, I am Grant Patricio as always, and with me as always is my favorite and the only one I know, pastry-themed masked Marvel himself.
Senor Donut, hello, hello. How are you all doing? Fantastic that we could be here for you to
Yeah.
bless your ears with our dulcet tones.
Is it dulcet or dulcet?
I've always said dulcet and no one's ever corrected me, so I have no idea.
Tomato, tomato, could be both. Either
Could
way,
be.
we're here to bless you with more of our banter, hopefully entertain you, bring you through to give you an even better day than the day I hope you're already having. And we're going to start this episode the way we always start our episodes. My favorite donut, what have you been playing?
So, I'm gonna kind of change it up a little bit on you,
Oh, okay.
because I have been playing things, but I want to share a little show and tell for you. This
Ooh.
Lego Game Boy that I crafted for my 400 follower celebration. So
Oh.
it comes complete with a Lego cartridge that you have of either The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening or Super Mario Land.
Ooh,
Right? And it looks straight up
mm,
like it, right? If
yeah.
you notice on the screen, when you move it, it looks like the Game Boy,
It
uh,
does!
Nintendo logo comes down, but you could switch that out so that instead of that, you have other screens like this one right here, which is from Link's Awakening,
Ooh, so
right?
it's like a little insert picture kinda thing?
Yeah, like,
For the little
like
game
those,
screens?
yeah, little game screens you could switch in and out so you could have things happen,
Oh
right?
my
The
god.
buttons you can press and they have give like the actual buttons. The D-pad feels like a D-pad. Like the whole thing, man, is just fantastically done. And I built it over a little under 3 hours it took me to build.
Wow.
But yeah, I just wanted to share that
That's
with you
so
because
cool!
exactly, it is cool. And here on this podcast, we aim to do cool things.
Ex yes, that, exactly. Oh my god.
So game cartridge, right? Slides into the back. Listen to this. It sounds
Exactly like it!
right.
Oh
And even
my
the power switch,
god!
look, it sounds like you're doing it,
You're bringing me
you
back
know?
to me childhood, my favorite donut. And you're also bringing out me Scottish accent for some reason. I don't know how you're doing both at once. My God, the nostalgia.
Right?
Oh,
That's what I've been doing on stream recently besides playing, Little Nightmares 3 with my, friend Snacks Bauer, and also playing a really cool game that is a side scrollum beat 'em up roguelike fantasy game called
side scrolling
Absalom.
Absalom, the side scrolling roguelike beat 'em up fantasy game.
I think fantasy should go before all of that,
That was-
honestly.
That's fair. I was just trying to make sure I got the criterion right because wow,
Yeah,
that is genre heavy. How
it
does
really is.
that work?
Well, it's by the same people that made the Streets of Rage 4, that made the Shredder's Revenge game. Uh,
Oh,
so the side scroll and beat 'em up action is just chef's kiss. It's fantastic. It's really good. The roguelike stuff in it is fantastic. The story is great. It doesn't get like boring because everything is different on each of your playthroughs because of
yep.
the different branching paths that you could take, because of the different ways to defeat enemies that you have to consider when you're playing this game. So yeah, that game has been really cool. I just started it. I
Nice.
highly recommend it. Um, so yeah, that's what I've been playing on stream and off, honestly.
Gotcha.
Um, so yeah, that's me.
Well, as far as on this boy's end, there's a Sonic racing game that's probably never gonna die, so I'm not even gonna mention it anymore because I am still playing that. I've been really into my mobile games lately, rotating between Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, Disney Pixel RPG, Pokemon TCG Pocket. A friend of mine recommended that I download Disney's Twisted Wonderland,
Okay,
which they didn't really give like, I haven't done it yet just because account issues that I'm too lazy to fix.
sure.
Um, but it's apparently like an isekai anime inspired take with RPG elements where a lot of the characters you meet in this world are reimagined versions of Disney villains. It's actually
Oh,
getting an anime
of course it
adaptation
is.
released in the West coming up soon. I actually learned that a few voice actors I follow online are in the show. So
Oh,
that's coming down the pipeline. The main game
sorry.
that
Hold on, I gotta interrupt you because I just had a really funny thought that I wanted to share with you. You
okay,
said it's an isekai and that it's reimagined Disney villains.
correct, yes.
So not Disney, not other Disney characters.
For all I know, they could be appearing, but the ones
Okay.
that are highlighted are the villains.
Oh, man, because I had a super funny thought of, like, seeing a super big buffed out Winnie the Pooh, like, speaking in Japanese, just, like, completely out
Oh
there.
my god.
Oh,
Hey, that'd
man.
be a better take on Winnie the Pooh than whatever the heck Blood and Honey was.
Did you actually watch that, by the way?
No, out of sheer protest. That is not my Pooh Bear. I am mad that they did that. Anyway,
Hashtag not my poo.
good night, everybody. Anyway, the main other game that I have been playing is Pokemon Legends ZA. It came
Yeah,
out last week,
I knew you were
and
gonna play that.
I mean, I asked you about whether or not I should stream it and how I should proceed with it. Um, I decided to stream it. I am having a
Mhm.
lot more fun than the typical internet content creator says I should be having.
Okay.
Um, and it got to the point where I wanted to play off stream, and I had to ask my chat, "Hey, I only have one save file for this, so can I play off stream and give you recaps when I come back on?" And they're like, absolutely, go for it.
Mhm, mhm.
So I got to a convenient stopping point, and I'm going to put together a little video when all is said and done in the vein of
Nice.
previously on Yu-Gi-Oh, but with the gameplay stuff. And I'm going to try to keep it snappy, about a minute long, because evolutions happened. I did side quests, finally changed my
So
clothes. It's great.
let me make sure I understand this. So what you did is you streamed Pokemon,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Asked your chat if you could play offline,
Yep.
but then did you record the stuff that you were playing offline?
Because Nintendo, like, I played it back on my gaming TV outside of the office. So what I
Mm.
was able to do was catch the 30-second snippets of the important events using the Switch 2's 30-second recording feature. I'm going to take all
Oh,
of those, splice it together in the right order, and then script it out, use my voiceover booth over there to record the voiceover and whatnot, download a song to go in the background, maybe sit at this microphone for the little intro spiel and like countdown. And then that video is going to be implemented into my stream tomorrow when I stream it again, twitch.tv/Grant_Patrizio, if y'all are interested. And
shameless plug.
hey, you do it all the time. I get one too. Anyway, um, I'm gonna splice that together, uh, put it up tomorrow for those who want to come to the stream, and then on stream, if people ask, "Hey, what happened?" I'll just play the video and they'll get a summary. Um,
Nice. That is fantastic.
yeah. I figured chat granted me permission to do that, it's the least I could do.
That's great, dude. Like, that's really smart to be like, "Okay, I'm gonna play this off stream, but I'm gonna record little snippets and then put it together in, like, a super cut of, like, a minute to 2 minutes or whatever."
Yep, that's the plan.
Nice. Nice. That is fucking genius level thinking.
Thank you. I will take the compliment, my good sir.
There you go. There you go.
But, speaking of Nintendo consoles and how seasoned we are as gamers, I figure that's a decent enough segue to talk about today's topic.
Before we get to the topic, though, I do
Okay,
wanna cover a little bit more of this Pokemon game because
fair.
you
Yeah,
are a massive Pokemon fan. Massive.
indeed.
I would even say the biggest one that I know.
That I could back that assessment potentially. Yes. I could
So
back that.
modest about it too.
I mean, like if there are things if there's one thing you know about me, Donut, it's that I'm willing to learn about new stuff, but the stuff that
Mhm.
I know well, it's like 5 layers of encyclopedia up here for better or for worse. So,
So, that being said, so a lot of streamer friends that I know are
mhm.
playing this game.
Yep.
Everybody's playing it right now, and the crazy thing is another friend of mine, one that I introduced you to, via Discord about Sonic Racing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if they ever reached out to you, but Super Spyro, is his, username. Super
I ended up
Spyro
reaching out to
with a bunch
him
of
and
number Oh, did you?
yeah, I reached out to him and asked him how he did about the Miku event and the Steve event. Haven't heard
Mhm.
much, but
Oh, okay.
you say they're playing it?
Yeah, so Super Spyro 1795, is his Twitch channel. Just give him a quick shout out. The reason being is he beat the game already.
Say what?
He streamed this game for 8 plus hours and then just demolished the rest of it. And I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I not on like, if I had the time, I don't think I would be able to do that. To play this game and beat it, like, before even 5 days have passed, before even a week has passed. This guy took the weekend and beat it.
Oh
Like,
man.
that is crazy amounts of dedication, you know?
Yes. Yes, it
But
is.
at the same time, like, I understand being super enthralled in a game, but,
Mhm.
for me personally, I need to savor a game experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's just mind-boggling to me that, that you could be so hyper-focused into beating a game like that. But he's having fun, and he's still excited to play more of it, even though he's already beaten it. He's ready for the post content. He's ready for the DLC, to come out, and it's just like, man, everybody is really giving me an extreme case of FOMO. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. The last Pokemon game that I played was Shield, I think.
Okay.
Because I remember trading, with
Oh,
you
yeah. Yeah, we
to,
traded
fill out
stuff.
my Pokédex, you
Yep.
know? So, it's super interesting to see everybody talking about this, Legends ZA or AZ or whatever it's called.
ZA.
Um,
AZ is a
ZA, right?
character in ZA, so, I understand that you
Oh,
get it
gotcha.
confused.
Gotcha. So, yeah, it's just super fascinating to see everybody playing this game, everybody talking about this game, um, and just, yeah, it's
And
it's
and for my part, I can't help but wonder what, Super Spyro's playstyle was, because
no idea. I saw some of his stream, but not all of it. Not
the way
all 8
I'm
hours of it. Sorry.
don't even. The way I'm approaching it is, like, there are certain moments that if I hear about them via, boyfriend sending me a TikTok with a heads up or something like that, that I definitely wanna save for stream, which is
Mhm,
conveniently my convenient stopping point that I mentioned a second ago. So that's like, "Oh, gotta give it a rest. Gotta get everybody caught up to speed with the little video I'm gonna stitch together. Then when I
mhm.
start stream, we'll do the big stuff, some more like main story kind of things." But and I'm gonna say this in the video just to show you my play style. I there were 22 side quests available to me at the time.
You did
They're
them
all
all.
done.
Yeah, I
They're all
figured.
done. I found an outfit that made me look like hipster Mario. I bought
Oh
the
my
clothes.
god.
I am hipster Mario now. Um, I caught things to fill the Pokedex. I redid some of the main battle mechanic gimmick thing to earn some more money to buy the clothes and to stall out a little bit. I might be over leveled. I'm not sure. I'll get back to you. Um, uh,
Ah.
I started with Totodile. It's a Feraligatr now because it gets to Feraligatr at level 30, which is earlier than everyone else.
Mhm,
So it like I'm really trying to explore and get the nooks and crannies in when I'm off stream. So
mhm.
on stream I can do the big stuff.
Right.
Um and again, depending on their playstyle, they might have just blitzed the main story stuff
Mhm.
in that 8 hours to get to the post game content and the DLC stories to blitz all that stuff too.
Is the DLC out already, or are they, like,
It
waiting to
was day
release it?
1 DLC, and that got some guff from the community because why release a story expansion DLC day 1 and not just include it in the game?
Mm,
Um, but I already know Imma get it because Raichu gets 2 Mega Evolutions only accessible that way. So, I'm
that
doing
is
that.
disgusting. That is disgusting. Locking the evolutions of
Locking
Pokemon
Mega
behind money.
Evolutions behind. I mean, with Sword, Shield, Scarlet, Violet, this is a little bit of a Pokemon derailing now, I guess, but we'll get to the topic. With Sword, Shield, Scarlet, Violet, they locked access to certain legendary Pokemon that you could catch in game behind those sorts of paywalls as well, with story expansions and all that. So it's just a different take on an alternate version that they used to do
Mhm.
with red and blue, gold and silver, that sort of thing. Instead of having to do a sister third version like they did with yellow and emerald and platinum and all that, they're just doing it as a story expansion DLC that both games get,
Gotcha.
or whatever game that's releasing gets in the case of ZA.
So, question real quick. Pokemon Legends ZA is the name of the game, right?
Yep.
Most Pokemons have 2 distinct, like, copies of each other when they're released, like
Right.
Pokemon Red Blue, Pokemon
Yep.
Sword Shield,
Yep.
Scarlet Violet. Does this game have the same thing?
It does not, because it follows in the
Oh,
footsteps of Pokemon Legends Arceus,
which I've never played either.
which released on the Nintendo Switch 1,
Mhm.
where the entire Pokédex is technically obtainable, some form or another, within the confines of ZA itself. The only
Mm.
difference is in Arceus, there was an item called the Link Cord, which allowed you to give it to a Pokemon like Haunter, level it
Mhm.
up, and instead of needing to trade it, it evolves into Gengar because it has the Link Cord item. They did that
Ah,
because Arceus is set in the distant past in the same region that would become Sinnoh in Diamond and Pearl.
gotcha.
ZA is set, I just learned this actually, 5 years in the future of Pokemon X and Y, where the Link
Mm,
Cord item did not exist. So you do
okay.
have to trade with other people to get
Mhm.
to get your Gengar, to get your Alakazam, and some other trait evolutions. But other than that, everything is catchable or obtainable in some way within ZA itself.
Mm, interesting.
Yep.
So, this is not a podcast about Pokemon, but because it recently released, I find myself talking more and more about it. And since you are the Pokemon expert, the
Of
guy
the
who
two
could
of us,
probably the guy who could probably name all 151 original Pokemon and tell me what number they are by just asking the question.
maybe the first one, not the number. If you give me that digital quiz, I'd be able to fill it in eventually. It would be out
Mhm.
of order, but the quiz itself would fill them in the right spot. Sorry, you were saying?
What I was trying to hint at is that I'm not a huge fan,
Right.
right? And I don't understand why people keep putting money into this game when Game Freak is just doing the basic bare minimum to satiate people's want for a Pokemon game. Like, I hear that the city that you are in, and it's only one map that you're in, is
Mhm.
completely devoid of life. Like, there's barely any people, there's barely any difference in architecture, it all looks plain and the same. Like, why do you keep on giving these people your money if they're not really improving upon making a better game, making better, greater innovations?
While I hear the question and the concern, um, my just individual answer, I can also trace it to Sonic the Hedgehog as well, because for the longest time, Sonic fell into a similar trap where
Mhm.
the games weren't iterating very much. And if they were iterating in the ways that the fans didn't like. And it's all that stuff. Nostalgia, brand loyalty, and preference has a big
Mhm.
sway on me. It does.
Mm.
I'm wearing one of my brand preferences right now. It's just that's just part of who I am and my taste in things.
Mm.
Pokemon, Sonic, Kingdom Hearts, greater Disney with Winnie the Pooh. It takes me back to that time where yeah, I can have unabashed childhood fun and not really have to worry about the rest of the world around me. Even if it is very tiny and very iterative fun with some less than stellar consumer decisions behind it. It's it's one of those things that I just there's a personal connection there that I don't
Mhm.
know that I'm ready to sever. Um I will say that the battle system in Legend ZA is all real time now.
Oh,
It's
okay.
all real time and it's a evolution, pardon the pun, of what Legends Arceus did, which
Mhm.
was having the trainer and the Pokemon visible on the field. The trainer could move around, the Pokemon not so much. This time, the Pokemon also move around. Your moves don't have power points, they have cooldown times. And if you play
Okay.
your cards right with moves like Protect and Teleport or hiding behind a car mid battle, you can
They actually
actually
matter.
yeah, you can actually dodge attacks. You can pull Ash
Mm.
Ketchum's favorite tactic and just use dodge it all the time. It's fantastic.
Mm.
Um shoot, there was another part of that question I was going to answer, but then brain just like lost it.
The train was like, "Choo choo," and then derailed.
Very derailed. But oh, it got back on the rails. Lovely.
Yeah.
Um gotta love that brain train getting back on the rails, huh? Anyway, um I recently heard that it's not entirely Game Freak's fault when it comes to Pokemon development and all that, because
Mhm.
they actually released a new trailer for a different game coming out on the Xbox family of systems that looks photorealistic and action packed and certifiably badass. I forget the name of the
Okay.
game right now, but Game Freak is developing more than just Pokemon. From what I've heard, and I can't exactly call this confirmed or rumor still because it's TikToks citing news articles, citing interviews. It's a complex web that I haven't fully researched yet.
Sure.
Um, but it's actually Nintendo, creatures, and the Pokemon Company itself trying to keep things with a certain brand identity because it knows players like us that grew up with red and blue. The creatures themselves have to have a certain aesthetic. The gameplay has to have a certain kind of loop that's slowly evolving but familiar enough to still feel like it's Pokemon. The anime got really popular, so that aesthetic is tied with Pokemon. So
Mm.
photorealistic Pokemon wouldn't make sense for the way that the brand is going, but that comes with a lot of constraints. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, the constraints are passed on to the gamers through the decisions to keep the brand homogeny, which everyone's free to have their own opinions about that if they want. But as somebody who does adore Pokemon, I'm going to keep giving them those chances until I get you can quote me on this one. If they decide to remake Gold, Silver, and Crystal, but make it somehow worse than the Nintendo DS remakes that came out in the early to mid 2000s, that might be the point where I'm like, okay, Pokemon, got to be a little bit more leery now. Because Gold, Silver, and Crystal were my absolute favorite games. Heart Gold and Soul Silver basically perfected those.
Mm,
And I I want to see them capture that. I want to see them capture that magic again. Because
mm,
if they could shove 493 Pokemon into a 2 region Pokemon game, they can definitely show the creativity to do more. And I know they can. I've seen it, but it's a lot of this supposedly back end brand homogeny business that's like kind of made them stuck in a way.
mm. So I've been in a lot of different Pokemon streams, Pokemon related streams recently, not just because of this
Hmm.
game, but because I also watch another streamer by the name of Osha God, who is a shiny hunter. Uh,
Oh.
so he has a counter on the screen that showcases how many times he's tried before getting the last shiny that he got. And
Hmm.
it's bananas how many times you have to restart the game and try to get a shiny version of the Pokemon that you want. He's not shooting to collect, like, and fill out the Pokédex. He's just shooting to collect the ones that he likes, and that's
Yeah.
totally fine.
Yeah.
Um, but it's still crazy to me the amount of, um, determination to repeatedly, uh, reset your game if you don't get what you want. Um,
That is a very special brand of determination that shiny hunters in Pokemon seem to carry, unique to them.
yeah, I mean, the question that I was gonna ask based on that, well, seeing that I was talking about, other Pokemon, hunters
Right.
that are out there,
Right.
is that his favorite Pokemon entry is Black and White.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Black and White? Because I was asking, "Hey, look, if I were to start playing Pokemon, which game/games should I try to start at?" And he recommended, Black and White.
Hmm. I played Black and White. I played Black 2 and White 2. I feel like they are good games.
Mhm.
If you want to start with something of that generation, I would go with Black and White 2 because
Okay.
the original Black and White, what they tried to do was in effect a soft reboot with 150 something original creatures that you couldn't get any Pokemon you were familiar with from the past until you beat the main story with a team of the entirely new lineup. And if the
Ah.
new lineup of stuff wasn't really appealing to you, shift to Black and White 2 a few years later. You can mix the new Mons with things like a Lucario, an Arcanine, a Raichu, none of the starters or anything, but more familiar Pokemon that's like, oh, I have new friends and old ones rejoin me to recapture
Mm.
that nostalgia a little better. Um, Personally speaking, though, if you really wanted to get back into Pokemon, I would default to finding a way to play Nintendo DS games and get either Heart Gold or Soul Silver. Because if you've played the original Gold and Silver, you get the Johto region, all 8 badges. You get the Kanto region, all 8 badges. You get refinements to some of the locked off areas in the Kanto region because the DS cartridges have more space. You get
Mhm.
the Safari Zone back, which was originally closed in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. They relocated it to Johto, is the canonical story behind it. but
Mm,
the original Gold, Silver, and Crystal couldn't really fit that.
yeah.
Um, you get tougher battles, you get more references to other parts of the franchise with trainer selections and stuff like that. I mean,
Mhm.
how many other times can you say that in order to beat the post game, you have to beat the canonical iteration of the character you started as on your journey to play Pokemon? Where you battle Red at the top of Mount Silver with his team of level 80 to 88 monstrosities and a
Now,
Pikachu that can knock you out in a single move if you're not careful.
Jesus, what would be really interesting is if there was some way to import your previous team from Red and Blue into the game so that you could really play against yourself.
That what like through fan made modifications, there are such means to do that if you
Ooh.
have I remember seeing it implemented with Red and Blue and the original Gold and Silver. I remember seeing that crossover happen with a slight save modification and some tweaks to the game's code. I don't know if they can do that or if it's done yet with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and the Red and Blue equivalents of that generation, Fire Red and
Mhm,
Leaf Green.
mhm.
But I agree. If you could make a team in Fire Red and Leaf Green of monsters you loved, then with a few minor tweaks, have Red on Mount Silver battle you with that team, that, mm, that, mwah, chef's kiss.
Going from this game that has never left Nintendo, we go into our
Yup.
topic of
Wait,
console exclusivity.
yup.
We're not I swear to God, we're not just talking
We're,
about
we're, we're
Pokemon
not a
for the
Pokemon cast,
entire
we
hour.
swear. But if you're keeping tabs on the time, the first 30 minutes of this episode might deceive you. We are not a Pokemon podcast. We promise. It just happens to be a new release at the time of recording, and it happens to fit because, and this is an interesting question I pose to you for the console exclusivity discussion. Outside of Nintendo consoles, Pokemon has only ever appeared on mobile phones.
Yes, that is true.
So, for the sake of console exclusivity, what are your thoughts? Does PC and mobile phone count to the discussion? Because the way I grew up,
Mhm.
if you wanted to play Mario, you had a Nintendo something. If you wanted to play
Yes.
Sonic, you had a Sega something. If you wanted
Mhm.
Crash, Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, you had a PlayStation something. You
Yep.
wanted Master Chief and Halo, you gave into the Xbox.
Yep.
That's what console exclusivity was to me through all of my gaming life until I started college when Steam finally entered my radar. I don't remember when it was introduced, but it entered my radar back in that era.
Yeah, I don't remember when Steam launched either, but I remember when it first came out that people were, saying, "Psh, Steam, what is this?" Like they were mocking it, saying it wasn't great or whatever, that it was stupid. And now Steam is like a fucking like
Now it's
mega
the gold
conglomerate,
standard.
right?
it
Crazy.
makes series that were formerly console exclusive not console exclusive anymore, depending on how we answer my previous question. Does PC count as its own console or a console in this
Mhm.
discussion? Or is it just a platform by which to play games? Because there are games that only PC players get access to.
That's true. Oh man. Thinking about that question, I think we need to go back to the past where
Ah,
we
do we?
had where we had our console wars, where we had our
Yep.
Nintendo versus Sega way back in the day. Where you had
I
the
was the Sega kid on
privilege,
the block.
but you also are a huge Mario fan, meaning that you had probably the privilege to own both a Nintendo and a Sega. Is that correct? Am I correct in assuming this?
There was a brief time of a few years where I had a Sega Genesis and a Nintendo 64.
Mm,
The first Nintendo thing I ever had in my own possession was a neon blue Game Boy Color.
mm,
My brother had the original Game Boy. even though I was better at his platformers than he was on it. He got mad at me for beating Wario Land just because he couldn't do it fast enough. I had my own file and everything. Um,
Shots fired. Take that, Grant's brother.
he shot back. Don't worry, don't worry. It's why I lost my initial Sega Genesis. He took shots back.
Oh, no.
Anyway, yeah. I found out the hard way. I guess I'll tell the story. I was out at a friend's house for a we hanging out. Um, Family was doing something at home. I had other plans. I was out. Sega Genesis was still plugged in. I come back the next morning, it's gone. Just straight up gone. Find out that my brother had sold it to his friend for parts and all of the games we had with it,
Oh
including
my god.
everything Sonic the Hedgehog at the time. Being a bigger Sonic fan than a
Oh.
Mario fan, waterworks, bawling the entire thing. And my brother's just like, we have a Nintendo 64. And I remember vividly saying through tears, there's no Sonic on Nintendo. And that's why I was crying.
Mhm.
Lo and behold, that is not true today. But little Grant didn't know that.
That dude, like, so I've known you personally for a long time, a
Yeah,
very long time.
yeah,
And this is the first time that I've heard this story about your brother. I've heard stories about your brother and how, he's not the best of brothers. Um,
that would be you.
this
Go on.
uh, oh, stop. This fucking guy, if you'll pardon me saying, this fucking guy, how dare he? How dare he? What a fucking dick thing to do. Please tell me that he was punished. Like, I want this kid to be fucking ass whipped with a belt. That's how bad I want his ass whooped. Did he get his ass whooped? Did he get some kind of punishment?
If he I don't even remember, but if he did, it did not stop him from continuing to be the same level of dingle hopper that he was for making that move.
What a
Um
fucking tool, man. That really fucking grinds my gears.
I mean, that's part of why as an adult when I have the means, I am rebuilding my own Sega Genesis collection with all of the Sonic games, and instead of a console itself, I got the long forgotten Switch before Nintendo did it, Sega Nomad, which is a portable Sega Genesis that runs on about as many batteries as a Sega Game Gear, if y'all remember that episode, but plays full on Sega Genesis cartridges instead and can
Wow.
plug into the TV with the right cords.
Damn. That's
So
that's crazy.
it's a comeback story that I'm still building, but
Yeah.
yeah, my blood brother is a Wisa perk, which is why I don't talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
All of that to say,
Hey, Grant's brother, fuck you. Coming from Senor Donut.
a brother far more worth it than you have ever been. Anyway, trauma dumping aside, back to the console wars. It's that's that whole era. I did have the privilege of having Nintendo stuff and Sega stuff when I
Mhm.
was growing up. But I
I
was
only had a Super Nintendo.
got
Like,
it.
I went through the Nintendo. I went Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and then I jumped straight to the PlayStation.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Um, so I didn't get to play a Sega Genesis, but I was super excited whenever I went to a friend's house and they had a Sega Genesis so I could see what all the
Yep.
hype was about.
Mm-hmm. And that's really what it was back then. Most families didn't have the capability to have the breadth of consoles between them.
Mhm,
And they it's like I said earlier, you had the Sega kids, you had the Nintendo kids. And when I got into high school, it was further divided. You had the Xbox kids, you had the PlayStation kids, some of
mhm.
whom didn't have the Segas or Nintendos that preceded them.
Yeah.
And then in 2001, Sega fell out of the console race and went strictly to publishing software, which is when we started seeing the Sonic Adventure games getting back published to Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. Sonic Heroes releasing to all three of them as a brand new game. It's like Sega fell out of it, and my 90s kid heart was just very sad. But then I got $100 off of a schoolyard bet because nobody thought they'd add Sonic to Smash, and I'm like, okay, maybe this isn't so bad.
Did you actually get $100 for that?
I did, because like 9 other kids bet me $10 that Sonic would not be the second third party announcement after Solid Snake. And I'm just like, referencing these console wars, I'm like, that would be so stupid. They know Sonic is Mario's biggest gaming rival of that era. It'd be
Mhm.
stupid not to include him. Um, Anniversary of that day recently came across my social feed, and I vividly remember one of my best friends at the time coming up to me in our class. He's like, Grant, did you see it? Did you see it? I'm like, yes, sir, I
Give
did.
me my money, pay me.
I won the bet. And he's like, I don't get it. I'm like, you're a 90s gamer, dude. You should, but okay.
I can just imagine little Grant going, "Give me my money. Give me my money."
It was more like, so about that bet. And they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was more the tone of how it happened. But effectively, it
Jeez.
was high school chibi Grant being like, dude, give me my money. Sonics and Brawl. Thanks.
But going back to your question, do I think that PCs count as a console, and mobiles count as a console, their own thing?
Right.
Um, I'm going to say that consoles are not there, or sorry, that PCs are not in the console sphere, that mobiles are not in the mobile sphere. The reason being that you can emulate all of these old school games on your PC. You know,
That.
you can
Mm-hmm.
you can emulate your Atari, your Commodore 64, your ColecoVision, your Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Uh, all of the different consoles that have come out in the past can be emulated on a PC. And
Yeah, that's
mobile
true.
games, the same deal. Mobile games are made on PCs, you know?
And there
Um,
are some mobile games that have Steam versions, like
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And I hate to do this to you again, but it's the only way I know how to refer to it. Anime Horse Girl, the mobile game.
Uma Musume Pretty Derby. You put some respect on that goddamn horse girl game.
Uma Masume Pretty Derby. Is that the name? Did I get it right?
That is the name, yes.
Okay, I will do my best to remember that from now on.
I've
But
only
those.
played this game twice, and I'm still so adamant about the name of it. Oh
Oh
my
man.
goodness.
But yeah, those are designed to be mobile games, but they have Steam versions that you could just play on your computer.
Mhm.
I see what you're saying.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, I wouldn't consider them to be part of the console wars. I mean, there
Got it.
are there are a huge number of people that go, "No, man, PC master race, fuck your
Ugh.
console," or whatever.
I
But, I
got
mean,
so much guff
honestly,
for that back in the day by being a console purist, my lord.
I know. For the longest time, I was a console purist because I didn't have the money to have a super high-end PC, you know?
Yeah,
But,
same.
now that I have a PC and I built it myself with all the bells and whistles, yeah, it's fantastic to have such a powerful machine that can do all of the stuff better than whatever console I have currently.
It's true. Like, and I'm just thinking about it purely from the game, from the gaming releases, and just how game releases used to be fully tied to a console. Now they are timed exclusives for a certain platform that
Mhm.
eventually get re-releases everywhere else.
Yeah.
Two games that come to mind that fit that mold for me are the Final Fantasy VII remake games
Mhm.
and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That recently got put on Steam.
Really?
Yup. It
I
used to
did
be
not
Sony
know that.
exclusive, but
Yeah.
now it's on Steam as well. And
Wow.
jumping back to Final Fantasy, they were, at least I know episode 1 was. I forget about I know remake was. I forget rebirth. But remake was a timed Sony exclusive for I want to say 6 months before
Mhm.
it got put on the Xbox line of consoles. Then it got put on the PC, And now it's also getting Switch 2 versions with the whole digital game card thingy. So
I hate the digital game card thingy. I hate it so
it
much.
it feels like digital games with an extra step. I
It really
experienced that with
does.
Yakuza 0. But
Mhm.
but that's what I'm saying about now console exclusivity is basically a time limit. It feels like it's
Yes.
basically a time limit barring certain franchises. And if we are going to go with the example that PC and mobile are excluded from that, then yeah, basically anything that Nintendo created in-house is still a console exclusive.
Mhm.
Because sure, there's Pokemon TCG Pocket, there's Mario Kart Tour on phones, Mario Run also on phones,
Mhm.
the various Pokemon mobile games. But the mobile games for Pokemon usually get a console version of whatever home Nintendo console is out at the time, the
Mhm.
Switch 2 now. And B, you ain't finding Mario on an Xbox, I'll tell you that much. Not officially, anyway.
Mhm.
But if you did include, like my hypothetical rabbit hole was, if you did include PCs and mobiles, what really is a console exclusive anymore outside of the time restrictions?
It it brings me, it brings to mind that line from, what was the name of the villain in The Incredibles? S
Syndrome?
yes, that guy. If everybody's super, then who is? Or if
Yeah,
everybody's
it's like,
super, then there is no super, whatever his line was, I
yeah,
fucked it up anyway. But if there's no consoles, then is there really console exclusivity? Or if
right.
nothing is exclusive, is anything really,
Are there even consoles really? What's the difference aside from
exactly.
like like I can make a side by side comparison more accurately with the Xbox line and the Sony line because
Mhm,
those are like stationary special built computers with certain specs. We talked about
mhm,
PCs earlier. A gaming PC can be edited and altered in real time to constantly keep you upgraded. The consoles have to be re released or released as new consoles for those same upgrades because of the tech at the time.
but
Nintendo, yes,
but caveat, you
caveat,
could upgrade those, but the only thing you can upgrade is the storage space.
fair enough. You can't upgrade the graphics card of a PS5 until you get enough for wherever the PS6 would come in, or
Mhm.
the Xbox
Or the
2,
Pro
3,
model.
4, or whatever. Um, it's the Nintendo Switch, it's more it's easier to say what that one's standout feature is because you can play that portably or on the TV if you just have a docking device plugged in.
Mhm,
And it's a seamless transition practically. Other
mhm,
companies are trying to capitalize on that with the PlayStation Portal, the Steam Deck, which, brings it back into the contention of is this really a console? Or are
mhm.
all consoles just specifically built computers at this point
Right.
with their own peripherals?
Mhm.
And it
Xbox has
really,
their own, like, mini console coming out too.
oh my God. There we go. And then I mentioned the Nomad earlier. Sega did it
Mhm.
long before it was cool. It's,
Alright, hipster.
oh God. That's an early 2000s term I never thought I'd be successfully pegged to. Good grief. Anyway, um, but yeah, like the idea of everybody having a portable console that you can use at home or on the go, uh, vibing off of the Switches or riding the Switch's coattails.
Mhm,
Uh, Everything having the degree to display photorealistic graphics at very least 30 frames per second, if not shooting for a 60 frame standard. A lot of it is becoming very syndrome-y, very homogenized.
mhm.
So to put a little bit more of a dramatic spin on the topic, does this mean the end of the console wars as we know it?
I think so. I don't think the console wars have been a thing, since I think since Xbox started, allowing more of their stuff on PC, because now, say, Sony and Xbox and Sega have a lot of their stuff coming to PC.
Yep.
Nintendo's the only one that doesn't really have their first party stuff, their Zelda, their Mario, um, their Donkey Kong out on other consoles. Like, m- most of it is just those other companies that have been like, look, we need more money. Let's put things on the PC. And that's
Yeah.
that's all that it really comes down to. It's down to saturating the market with your content so that you can get the biggest payday.
And then figure out where most of your player base is and cater to where most of your player base lives in terms of their gaming sphere.
Exactly. And that goes into a whole different question of crossplay being a thing. One of the biggest
Yeah.
bridges I think that came into the whole gaming console wars was, look, I have this game on my PlayStation. My friend has it on Xbox. Can we play this game together? And having crossplay become a thing was a monumental step towards, everybody kind of ending the console wars and being like, "Look, we need to have this crossplay thing happen. We need to flip the switch, and let all of these other gamers talk to each other and play against each other because,
Yeah.
this isn't sure, it's helping our bottom line in terms of getting more people to buy an exclusive, quote unquote exclusive game on the PlayStation, but we're limiting them from playing with people around the world. And that's what people want. They want that
Yeah.
connection. It all comes down, in the end, I believe, to connection, connecting with another human across an ocean, across a continent, to play games with, to play
Yeah.
games with friends, or creating friends online. Like, the online friendship has become a bigger thing to people than a IRL, an in real life friendship. You
Hmm.
and I, we're friends.
Yeah.
We're close friends, but I have friendships with other people that I have never seen face to face, that I know only through a PNG, that I know only through a VTuber model. And I've never met this person. I've never seen their face, but I can tell you that they are my friend, and I would play games with them online, and I would have deep conversations with these people because in the end, it's all about connection and connecting to somebody who is either very similar to you, has the same interests, or whatever, so that you could find your tribe.
No matter how scattered the tribe may be. And maybe that is a fitting end to the console wars. Because at the end of the day, the console wars only started because word of mouth bantering and bickering by kids on the playground, comparing the likes of the Marios and the Sonics and the Pokemons to the, I think the Digimons? I don't know that
Yeah,
Digimon came
yeah.
out on Game Boy as well. But comparing,
Think it did.
okay, well, comparing games that you could only get by playing each other's systems.
Mhm.
Whereas, and you're right to say you want to build connections and these friendships with people who play different games on different platforms. So, yeah, the console wars started. Uh, I think the summary is the console wars started out of a need for that connection and that unifying point to build friendships. With crossplay, the internet, PC gaming, and ways to connect your console games to each other over the internet. I think there's a thing called Parsec that lets you do that.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
uh, yeah, the connections are there. People are building them, whether it's with people they've met in person before or not. They're sharing the same game with each other and having that experience, which is what used to cause all of those schoolyard debates, schoolyard arguments, uh, all of that. So while the console wars, I would say, is fun to think about, I don't think it's here anymore.
And I think we're all the better for it.
Honestly, same.
So
Not to
what game you
complete
got for me, Grant?
I was about to say, not to do a complete tonal whiplash, but I have a game that I like to call Console Wars Fact or Fiction. I have
Okay.
15 questions, some of which are true or
15?
false. 15 questions, some of which are
Jesus.
true or false.
Okay.
And we'll see how many of them you get right. They cover all manner of the major game development players, platform players, if you will.
Okay.
Um, And again, well, let's just see if the console wars still have an impact on us, whether through these questions and through this knowledge.
Oof.
Question 1: True or false?
Okay.
Valve originally started as a group of ex Microsoft employees.
Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna say that's true.
You would be correct, sir. Gabe Newell and Mike Harrington left Microsoft in 1996 to start Valve. Turns out, the start button was just the beginning. Question 2:
Okay.
Which famous Nintendo character has never made a gaming appearance on anything not labeled a Nintendo console?
I mean, that's a ton of different characters. A ton
Mm-mm.
of different characters.
This factors in. This is why I asked. This
Uh-huh.
factors in PC and mobile. This character
Mm.
hasn't even appeared there. Only gaming appearances have been on a Nintendo labeled thing.
Oh man. Could you give me like an ABC answer? Because this is like, there's a
Um,
lot of Nintendo characters.
all right. A. Marth.
Okay.
B. Samus.
Okay.
C. Captain Falcon.
Mm, I'm gonna go with Samus.
You would be correct again.
Yes. Oh, there's no way I would have gotten that if he had not given me any other thing. I would have failed right there.
Well, the main reason behind that is, even the likes of Mario, Donkey Kong, Marth, they have appeared on other, they've appeared in mobile games,
Mhm.
or on thing in other such weird promotional areas. And Captain
Gotcha.
Falcon was actually a bit of a tricky misnomer I threw in there just to test you. Because
Ooh.
while F-Zero games on console, they've never come to PC, they've never come to mobile, they've only been on Nintendo.
Right.
But I vividly remember seeing F-Zero arcade machines, harkening back to that episode.
Mm,
And because
gotcha.
arcade machines are not technically made by Nintendo,
Okay,
Captain
okay,
Falcon
okay.
would have been a bit of a misnomer. But if you had said it, I would have given it to you.
Oh, how nice. How kind.
Question 3: True or false? The
Okay,
Sega Dreamcast was the first console with built in online play.
that's false.
That's true, actually.
No, 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 no. You had to buy an adapter. I remember that you had to buy an adapter for this thing to have a connection to the internet.
Really?
I specifically remember. I will look this up right meow. It
Let's
has
let,
to
let,
be.
let's
You
do it.
said the Dreamcast?
The Sega Dreamcast. The the sources I went to for this question, they said the service SegaNet allowed people to play Fantasy Star Online with each other and battle over the internet long
First cons,
before
yeah, you're right. God damn it. God damn it. All
Sega
right, all
Dreamcast
right.
with SegaNet for Fantasy Star
Mm,
Online, long before Xbox Live or PlayStation Network even existed.
God damn it. All right. You got me. You got
Question
me.
4, and I will do my best to adapt this to the ABC method again.
Ooh, okay.
The first Xbox prototype was made out of what material? A. Aluminum, B. Iron, or C. Copper?
You said the first Xbox
The first Xbox prototype.
prototype. Copper, iron, aluminum. I'm gonna say iron.
It is aluminum.
Fuck.
The prototype was literally carved out of solid aluminum blocks, like a sci fi
Jesus.
prop, and it apparently weighed upwards of 40 pounds.
Jeez. That. Okay. Okay. All right. So far, what is that? That was question 4 or 5.
Question 4. You are
Jesus, I'm
2 right, 2
failing.
wrong.
I'm
2 right,
failing.
2
If I
wrong.
this were a fucking test, I would be failing right now. Jeez.
Don't worry about it. I think I had that in one of our episodes from our last recording session. So,
Mm,
nah. Um, question 5. Which PlayStation console had a supposed emotion engine chip built into it?
it sounds so familiar.
It is not the Tango emotion engine, despite the fact that he is purring right now. Which PlayStation console had the emotional engine chip built into it?
I think I'm gonna take the freebie that you gave me right now. It's gonna be the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I gave you the freebie. Um, Sony claimed the console could simulate
Default,
human emotion.
default, default.
Hey, you know what? It's why I gave you 15. Um, it claimed it could simulate human emotion, mostly boredom through the loading screens.
Woof. Woof. What a shot fired at Sony right there.
Eh, eh. Question 6. This popular video game console developer once told its players not to get its new system if they didn't want to play online. Name that console developer.
Sorry, can you rephrase that question? I'm having trouble figuring out what you meant.
This developer of a
Mhm.
major video game console once had a PR nightmare where they said if you don't want to always play online, don't buy our newest console when it releases. This handed another of the big 3 console developers at the time a gold trophy for marketing PR on a silver platter.
I wanna say it was Nintendo?
It was Microsoft during the
What?
Xbox One era. They
Oh,
said to their audience, if you don't always want to play online, we have a console for that. It's the Xbox 360.
mm.
Sony took that as oh, we can share games, we can play with each other, and we don't have to
Oh,
be online
okay,
all the
yeah, yeah.
time.
No okay, yeah, I remember them like, "Here's how easy it is to share a game with your friend. Here is a
Hands
disc." Yeah,
s- Similar idea.
I,
Exactly.
okay, so yeah, I remember that whole thing happening, but
Yep.
I don't know, maybe it was the way the question was phrased or maybe I didn't get it, I don't know.
I was trying to like get you to think about it with the phrasing of that one, and I
Yeah,
tried to be a little more obvious with the PR nightmare. Uh
yeah.
sorry about that.
No, no, no,
Um
it's fine.
Question 7. In Japan, what was the original name of the Nintendo Entertainment System?
It was a Famicom.
Yep, it was a Famicom.
Yeah, that one's super easy, I remember that one.
Yep. True or false? This is question 8.
Okay,
The original PlayStation controller did not have analog sticks.
that is true.
That is indeed true.
I
They were
remember.
added later on and then became standard and revolutionary, so to speak, with the dual shock controllers that we are now used to up through PS5.
Yeah. I remember having the dual sticks and then pressing the analog button, but it didn't work for all games yet. So it was just useless for whatever reason.
All right. Question 9. Of the two companies involved, Sega or Nintendo,
Okay.
which had a larger active role in the development of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series?
I'm gonna say it was Nintendo.
It was Sega.
Jesus Christ.
Sega did the active developing and all of the musical compositions for the game. Shigeru Miyamoto and a few higher ups oversaw for quality, and Nintendo licensed the characters.
Wow.
Sega had a bigger role.
Interesting.
Staying on the topic of Sonic for a second, question 10. Which animal was nearly chosen instead of a hedgehog to be Sonic before they settled on a hedgehog? And while I can't give you an A, B, or C thing, if you remember my Sonic Superstars streams from back in the day, a reference to this near choice was made into a playable skin for Sonic.
Oh man. Ugh.
I guess I'll give you a hint. It was a
No, no, no,
mammal.
no, no. Don't. Okay. I'm gonna say it was a rabbit.
That's correct. It was a rabbit.
Yes. Oh, I was thinking like, okay, what's what's another fast animal? Okay, tortoise and the hare. Let's go with the hare. Let's go with the rabbit.
You are correct. Sonic was almost a rabbit. The rabbit would have
Whew.
used its ears to pick up and throw objects. They scrapped it for Sonic, the blue hedgehog, that could go fast. He is now one of my favorite characters of all time. Thus, history was made.
Would it have still been a favorite character of yours if they were a rabbit?
I have no idea. I that is not a timeline I want to hop into on this podcast right now. No pun intended. Question 11. True or false? Nintendo once made a deal with Sony to create a CD based console
That
together.
is true. That is
That
true.
is
100%.
that is true indeed. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System PlayStation prototype.
Mhm.
Nintendo backed out, leading to the Philips CDI and all of those wonderful Nintendo adaptations of Mario and Zelda that are memed on to heck and back now. And the PlayStation was born, thus becoming one of Nintendo's biggest rivals. Question 12. The PlayStation 3's launch price was so high, an executive said, what infamous quote? Bonus points if you can name the executive.
I'm gonna say it was Kaz Hirai that said it.
That is incorrect.
God damn it. Okay. And I don't know what was said.
Okay. The quote was, people will work more hours to buy one, said by Ken Kutaragi.
Mm.
The PS3 launched at $599 USD. The fandom's response? How about no?
I
Question.
actually have a story about that real
Oh,
quick.
okay.
I remember buying a Nintendo Wii because the PlayStation 3 was so expensive.
Fair choice. Fair
Mhm.
choice. Question number 13. What's the name of Valve's canceled project that was meant to be a Half-Life 2 follow-up?
Um, I don't know enough about Half-Life to really give an answer.
All I can say, it's not Half-Life 3, and that's what I expected you to say. The project title was Half-Life 2 Episode 3.
Mm.
Announced, delayed, vanished. It's the gaming world's Bigfoot. Rumored and spotted, but never confirmed. Question number 14. What was the first reason, Microsoft added Xbox achievements?
Um,
Was it A, to bring people together, B, bragging rights, or C, to create player engagement?
oh man, it's between B and C for me, but I'm gonna go with the bro thing here, which is bragging rights.
If you had said either B or C, I would have given it to you
What is
because
the
it
actual answer?
to create player engagement and bragging rights across all
Okay.
games. The system became so successful that Sony and Steam followed up with trophies and achievements of their own.
Yeah.
Final question, crossover edition.
Okay.
Name one character who has appeared in both a Sony published game and a Nintendo published game.
Hmm. Both Sony and Nintendo. Oh, it's Solid Snake.
Correct. Smash
Yeah.
Bros. And
Okay.
Metal Gear. All
Took me a
right,
second.
so
Took me a second.
just going over the answers real quick to tabulate Yon's score.
Oh, good, because I wasn't keeping score, but I'm pretty sure I got an F plus. You know, like if this was school, I would have failed this course
I don't think so. I don't think so.
because I got a lot of them wrong.
Let's see. On the first page, there were four. You got two of them right. 3, 4, 5, 6,
This man actually has a pen
7.
and paper, just wrote all these down or printed them out. How
I did print
crazy!
them out. I need. I'm an actor. I need my script. Okay. You got 9 out of 15. I would grade that as a C for console wars.
Hey, there we go. Well done,
Uh,
well done.
thank
Thank
you
you
very
for
much.
thank you for testing my knowledge and making me look like a fool.
Oh, says the guy who basically gave me our very first game as a dose of luck because how in the heck was I able to tell the difference between a Mountain Dew and a wrestling move when I don't drink soda and I only watch wrestling around you? I had
That's true.
no idea. All of that was luck. All of that was luck. So don't even, my dude.
Eh,
Well, with all the twists, turns, and emotional excitement of any Super Banter Bros episode, this is where we are going to end this one. Once again, I have been Grant Patrizio, and with me,
Senor Donut.
and we wish you all a happy day, happy night, happy afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are when you're listening. Good night, everybody.
Buenas noches.